Hello, I'm ABX and welcome back to the top 5 video. Today I want to go through the top 5 survival features found in the Minecraft Xbox Better Together update. This update really feels like it's aimed at players who love to play multiplayer with people on different platforms, or who want to play servers, or who want to do all these different creative different tasks. But the truth is a lot of people play Minecraft like myself to play the survival game. I love survival Minecraft, it's the thing that got me into it, it's the thing I still play for hours every week, and maybe you are in the same category and you're wondering what's in this update for you. So I wanted to go through the top 5 features that I personally like in this update as a survival player that maybe you all do agree with. So like this if you do like it, because it helps out the channel and lets know you do like the top 5 videos, especially when we cover survival stuff like this one. So with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we, with the 5th feature. That's the best place to start on any top 5, because the 5th best feature in the Better Together /1.2 update for Minecraft console is probably the infinite world. So you might be questioning why this is 5th, because like, wait, shouldn't that be way higher? But the truth is having, infinite worlds is something you either really love, it's the best thing ever for you, or it's something you don't really get that much out of. Because the truth is having a large world in Minecraft console was, infinite in terms of like, do you ever need to go to the edges? Probably not, because you have all the structures you need. So it's the same with this world. It's not actually infinite, it's 12 million blocks, but it's functionally infinite, because that means, to kind of put in perspective just how big that is, if we ran at full speed, which is about 5.6 meters a second, let's just say 6 meters a second, if we ran at full speed in this direction, the amount of time it would take us to get even a quarter of the way to the edge of the world. In fact, let's run there now and let's show you. So we do this for another 140 hours. So this video isn't 140 hours long, because instead we'll just teleport over there. But if we did run for 140 hours, then we would be 1/4 of the way there. So that's 5.5 days of non-stop running over there. So this is where you get to 3 million blocks one direction. You're only a quarter of the way to the edge of the world, the point where the world actually stops. And although things start to get a bit buggy here, look at the way I'm running. It's a bit strange. The world doesn't really work correctly. But even though that is the case, it's still one of these things where the fact that you can go that far, and 5.5 days, that's about a week of doing nothing but like sleeping 6 hours a day and playing Minecraft the rest. That means to get to the edge of the world, you need to waste a month, and that's only the edge in one direction. Bear in mind that's only the edge on the X axis. If you want to get to the the edge on the Z axis as well, that's another month. And if you want to go back to the other edge, it's like another 4 months. And my point being is it takes a long time to walk across your Minecraft world, and that makes it truly bigger than anyone knows. And that's why people call it infinite. But even if you don't use it infinitely, it's a lot bigger, and that's what a lot of people do like. Again, personally, I'm not too bothered by it, and that's why it's number 5. But for a lot of people, this is one of the biggest features. So what's bigger than infinite worlds, you might argue? Well, I would argue infinite access to your world. So this is a really weird one to say, because it seems like it's a multiplayer function, but I'm using it for solo, and then it happens to be for multiplayer too, because that is Minecraft Realms. So I'll admit the reason this isn't higher up is because it does cost money. The cheapest subscription is £23.29 a month, which might be worth it if you play hours a day like I do. That's why I bought one myself. Maybe it's worth it for you. Again, make that judgment yourself. But the reason I love Minecraft Realms is because it means that your Minecraft world is always there. Even when you're not in it, it's always accessible. So if you want to play with friends, which again, a lot of people play Minecraft for the social experience, then you can get that. Your world is always running, so friends can always join. You can join at separate times, and it's still the same world. But even better than that to me is the fact that if you love Minecraft survival and you get that itch to play it. I get the itch to play Minecraft sometimes at airports. Sometimes I'm just in bed and I'm like, I kind of want to work on this a little bit. But now, because of the Better Together update and the Realms, at least because of this, I can now just do that on my phone. Again, if you only own the Xbox version, it's worth picking up on your phone for like it's absurdly cheap sometimes, like 99p, because somehow it's weird that it's the same game on phone and Xbox. I don't know if I agree with that by itself, but the fact that it is the same game means that you can pick up this you can pick up the Minecraft Realms for this game, and you can play the exact same game on your phone, your tablet, your Nintendo Switch soon, and your Xbox, which is nuts. And it's something I'm going to be taking advantage of for my survival worlds and my destruction projects like this one. And that's before we mention the fact that the world's always running, so you can have stuff that's going in the background. And that's before you mention the fact that, oh yeah, and you can have friends join, and those friends can join even when you're not there, which is wonderful for them. You can have lots of you all sharing one survival world, which is just wonderful stuff. So yeah, get a realm, or try and find a friend with a realm. Maybe that's the successful strategy in this one. If you don't want to pay £3.29 a month for whatever, or it's £6 for the bigger ones, then maybe, or I guess $7 or something, then find a friend with some realms and do that. But if that's not your thing, maybe you care about the 3rd best feature for Minecraft console survival in the new version. I guess it's just Minecraft survival now, isn't it? But my 3rd favourite feature in this brand new thing is probably, it's actually a way to traverse those infinite worlds. Because if you like the idea of these giant worlds, then you might think, oh, so it takes a month to traverse? What am I even going to do with that? So if that is your kind of reaction to that, then one thing you might consider doing is having the new Nether here. So it's worth mentioning that if you had a Xbox One large size world, your Nether was always like this, but I never had a large size world, and my Nether I did have a large size world, but my Nether was like medium, or like I never actually played survival extensively with a large size world. which meant my nether was never at the 1:8 scale, which you might expect. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you a really long minecart journey. This is about 400 blocks. I think it's exactly 400 blocks in fact. So follow this minecart journey in the overworld. This is pretty much the fastest you can get. By the way, our minecarts are a lot slower, and it upsets me a little bit. Like this, look how slow we are going on this minecart. But let's just ignore that. Let's just say this is a giant minecart journey. We're going to go all along the Minecraft world into unexplored, unventured territory, and we're going to go 400 blocks and then go into a nether portal, and then I'll show you just what that 1:8 scale means, because on console previously, I think it's 1:3 on Minecraft 360, which means that when you go into the nether, you save some time, but like not really. But let me show you just how much time you can save by traveling across the nether as opposed to the real world. It's like the warp in Warhammer 40k, or it's like, I think there's references to it in Star Trek as well. My point being is this thing is exactly the same. Okay, so we have to be really careful with this portal because it's just stranded in midair by itself, so we're gonna just like hop in there by ourselves now, and oh god, okay, so okay, we're going to go through the portal, and yeah, so that was a 400 block journey we did by minecart. Did you see how long that took? That was like a minute of my life I wasted, and let me show you how fast that journey can be done in the nether. So you might think, oh, so this is a 400 block journey you're doing, except, you know, actually, I'll say that in a second. So this is what it looks like in the nether. This is the first portal, that's the second portal. So on foot, bear in mind, this isn't a minecart journey, this is just me running on foot. I can do that exact same journey that took about a minute in, what was that, like 6 seconds, 5 seconds, and not only that, but when we go back through the portal, it's not that we did that entire journey in that many seconds. We did that entire journey plus some. We didn't just go back to where we started. We ended up all the way over here in a separate corner of the world. So now if we fly back, just to kind of show you how far away we are, we're over here now behind the mountain we started on. So let's just quickly fly over this way. We're going to hurt. And oh, okay. So the fireworks slow me down a bit. So that's where I started. I was all the way back there, and I did it in 5 seconds. So again, that's something that's going to come later. But let's talk about the second best feature, because you might say, well, that's amazing being able to traverse your whole world that fast, but maybe I don't care about that. Maybe I just want to show off my accomplishments, or I want to get more of that. Well, my second favorite thing, this is weird, but item frames now are usable in the game. So I didn't use item frames pretty much at all. In my museum, I used them, but for the most part, I don't use item frames on the PC version, because the Java version, or the console versions, because they both count as entities. And although they might count as entities here, I'm pretty sure they don't, because they're not killed by the /kill E command. They somehow optimized item frames to make them much more useful in this version of the game, and I really do quite like it, because as you can see, big wall of item frames, that's maybe 300. This is enough to, if you do this on the 360 version, to kill the game. I use it as my standard, like, let's kill 360 thing, but you can have as many signs as you want, you can have as many item frames as you want, and you can have them all be on this one big thing together, and 0 lag. Look, this is running at like, probably not quite 60, but this is running at a very high frame rate, despite the fact that we have all these item frames, because they're not entities. So if you want to show off like each of your firework rockets, or you want to show, oh, oops, if you want to show off any of these things, you can show them off really well by putting them into an item frame wall, because you can have as many item frames as you want. You could have like a 100 by 100 wall. You could have 10,000 item frames, and it's fine because they count as like a block decoration rather than entity, and it makes sense that they work that way, and it's just a big improvement to the game in my opinion. And again, item frames by themselves might seem like a small improvement, but the fact that you can have, like as many, the fact that they changed it really is a big enough deal that I feel like it's worth mentioning, because it means that chests are now more useful. Instead of just having to like guess what's in what chest, you can take an item frame. Okay, if you have never seen this before, by the way, you can take an item frame, you can put it on a chest if you crouch below the chest, and then you can label each chest with what's in there. So this is my golden carrot chest, and then we could have another chest over here. Again, we're doing this on the fly right now, but we could do another item frame on another chest, and that could indicate that this chest over here is my, this is my firework chest, because the only thing I store are golden carrots and fireworks. You can show that off, and it's wonderful. So what's my favorite feature in this update? What's the most game-changing thing for me? It honestly has to be. So again, this is something where you will cause lag for yourself, but the fact that there's no limit on the number of mobs you can have way outweighs the fact that it's going to hurt the game. So this is how much we hurt the game with about 300 mobs. Again, previously you could only have about 100 total on the Minecraft Xbox version. This is what the game looks like of about 300. So I imagine once you have more in your world, this becomes unpalatable and it starts to break, but let's assume they keep optimizing the game, or let's assume that you want to buy a better console, or whatever the, the Xbox One X I mean, but whatever the solution is, as you can see, the game is still playable, despite the fact that I have more chickens, and there's a horse in there for some reason, I have more chickens and more sheep than you could even really see individually. Like, you can see the odd sheep in there and be like, oh, that's a thing, but we can have this many sheep here, so if you want to shear a lot of wool, previously, I get like 20 sheep, and then, okay, so Let me just prove to you, by the way, that now that we have this many, this isn't the mob limit, we're not just maxed out. What we can even then do is we can breed sheep together. I don't know if they'll work if they're in such a tiny space, but we can then breed sheep together, and it's not going to say, oh yeah, you've reached the max number in your world. Nope, the sheep just get right on with the task of breeding. I don't know I don't know if this is working quite so effectively, but the fact that the sheep do just breed, I think that's a wonderful... Okay, you can see they're breeding because I'm getting XP. I think that's just a wonderful change. The fact that you can have as many animals as you want. Because one of the features I always wanted in my head was like an unchecked mob limit box. Because if you wanted to have more sheep, or you wanted to have more cows because you needed more food, or you needed more eggs, I guess, in this case, then previously there was no way to get that, but now, as of this update, you can finally have as much wool as you want. Look, look at that, it's so ridiculous. I love this feature about the Better Together update, and I really feel like it is my #1 change. You can get an unlimited amount every mob drop. You can make a farm of sheep and have you can have every 16 colors, so if you want to build a wall now, building a wall in survival is possible. Having enough food to always last you is possible, and this is just something I didn't have before, and I'm happy that I have it now. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully, hopefully you all enjoyed seeing something about it. Like the if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let us know you do like these sorts of videos. Share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're around here. Make sure you hit the bell, because it lets you see these videos daily on your homepage, as well as the latest and greatest in Minecraft console news. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.